found out we were having twins. We were having a little boy and a little girl. What's our boy's name? Luke. And what's our girl's name? Vera. Basically, at 22 weeks, 3 days gestation, I went into labor. Luke's water broke very, very early. We insisted that we try everything we could to keep him in. We kept him until 23 on the dot. Luke was born at 6:21 and Vera was born at 6:41 p.m. And pretty much just held their little hand and talked to them for a minute and they left. So, that was the last time we ever saw Vera alive. That was really hard. She developed pneumothorax, which means she basically got a little hole in one of her lungs, and all of the air that was in her lung ended up getting pushed into all the rest of the chest space, and then her little lung collapsed. But at that point, we had to put our grieving process aside for a while, and that was very difficult because we had to focus on Luke. We had to focus on adjusting to being in the NICU and the constant terror that we were going to lose him.
We were introduced to Cassie the first day that we came to Cardinal Glennon. The day was kind of a fog, but I do remember her coming in, and the first interaction was she made a plaster cast of Vera's foot for us, which was very special.
She was like an angel. She came in and she just knew all the right things to say. She knew how to be supportive without being overbearing. She talked to us about ways to approach 3-year-olds with death. She gave us some books that we could read to Evelyn. She helped Evelyn to really understand what was going on with Luke, because all those tubes and all those wires and beeping and binging and monitors and the respirator and everything could be pretty scary for a little kid. So when you're constantly have this constant terror of losing your child, you really put distance between yourself and that baby, which isn't fair to Luke. But I think it's just a survival mechanism for your brain. A lot of times I feel a distance between him and I that I just hate. And I know it's going to take a long time for that gap to close. I've talked to other parents and read other things about babies that were in the NICU a long time, and I guess that's not unusual. That makes me feel better. I'm not a bad mother for not loving him as much as I should. And I know that it's the terror of losing them pushes you away from loving them. And that's been really hard for me. And I feel like we can provide all the physical needs for him, and I know that emotional attachment is going to come, but I think that it's going to be a different kind of attachment, and it's just going to take a little bit longer. I talked to Cassie about that some before we left the NICU, and she's checked in on me just to see how things were going, and that's been also very, very reassuring to know that we've still got support and that I still have support. It's not just Luke's medical support. We still have support from Glennon as we're making this adjustment now into having him in our lives every day at home. Cassie was there, and she was able to kind of pick up the pieces that I couldn't pick up at the time because our life was just in shattered pieces all around. And she was able to pick those pieces up and kind of bring a little bit of order to it for us at the time, especially in regards to Evelyn. I guess the single most important thing she has done for us is she's really emphasized and helped me to understand that this is our story. I'm a planner. I'm a very type A person. I have had literally my entire life planned out since I was probably in grade school. And just starting with the infertility, that was definitely a boomerang that hit us hard, that didn't fit with my plan. And then the idea of twins, that was an even bigger thing that did not fit with my plan. After finally adjusting to the idea of twins, our story changed again. And then I'm back to 2 kids instead of the 3 I thought I was going to have. And I had a very hard time with that, and I kept kind of rejecting that as being reality because it wasn't the reality I had always seen myself having. What Cassie was really able to help me to understand more than anybody else is that this is our story. It may not be the story we thought we were on. Our storyline changed. The plot changed in a way I never would have dreamed possible. But instead of me rejecting it and trying to choose my own adventure and take a different route again, she's really emphasized to me the importance of understanding, this is your story. This is what happened. This isn't something to ignore or shy away from. Instead, we need to embrace it as partly what has molded our family into the family that we are today. No amount of medication or pills or shots or tubes or fluids or oxygen, none of that is going to get you through life if you aren't spiritually and emotionally and mentally healthy, because that's truly what keeps you going. And that's what kept us going, and you're a huge reason we were able to do that. So thank you so much. I said there aren't enough words for what you've done for us, and we're just truly blessed to have had you in our lives.